a $15 million settlement in a case that dates back to 2009.
The lawsuit was filed after it was learned Crestwood officials were using tainted well water for decades. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Gallardo here now with the story. Michelle.
Cheryl and Ron, the settlement is far less than what was originally sought, but it is probably all that the village of Crestwood can afford to pay. It also allows the village to end this without an admission of guilt, while giving the 341 plaintiffs some closure.
No amount of money is ever going to bring back my wife, Sharon.
$15 million. That is the amount of money the village of Crestwood has agreed to pay 341 people who claim they or one of their loved ones got sick after drinking tainted water. People like Ronald Swiekowski, who lost his wife Sharon to brain cancer in 1997. And Tricia Krause, who along with two of her three children developed various forms of cancer.
It was not a coincidence that our family, we have no family history of any of these cancers out of 100 people on either side. It didn't add up. Being sick on a regular basis.
This started back in 2009 when it was first revealed that for more than 2 decades, village officials supplemented drinking water supplies with water from a community well rather than repair faulty water mains. That water was contaminated with cancer-causing chemicals. But despite the indictment of 2 officials for their role in the cover-up, the village has continued to insist their water did not pose a danger to residents.
We're not admitting no guilt. As far as I know, in the 8 years that this case has been going on, I have not seen anything. They haven't proven anything. But for the village, this is the best deal.
The best deal because the village can't afford the mounting legal bills, which could have gone into the hundreds of millions if there was a trial. If approved, most of the funds will come from a $9 million bond issue. The residents of Crestwood have 31 days to challenge before it can move forward. The settlement with the village is only part of an overall $34 million plus agreement that includes the engineering company involved in the delivery of Crestwood's water.
There needs to be heightened regulation for the water supply that currently right now, anyone who tampers the water supply, it's only a felony. So for right now, we need strengthened rules. I proposed 50 years in jail, no exception, to Congressman Russ for legislation, and it didn't go through. So they actually tried to strengthen the rule and they made it a felony, but it was only made to broke because in Chicago, a felony can be actually thrown out of court in a second. I think that we need a national law that would strengthen the regulations regarding someone tampering with the water supply. If you get caught tampering a water supply, there should be no exception. You are hauled off to jail. I know unfortunately this is going on, like I said, in many towns. And right now what the EPA is doing, they have, I believe 3 to 5 inspectors for the whole state of Illinois. So therefore they're on the honor system. And the honor system in Illinois, as we know, is so corrupt and so embedded with politics and pay to play politics that they're paid off, basically. So they're not watching anything. They're only watching their pockets.
Did you reach out to your senator at that time?
I did. I had reached out to the senator, Dick Durbin, many times, and basically he would just reach out and say, thank you, keep me informed. You know, thank you again for contacting me and please stay in touch. Just soothing words over and over. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact my office. Thank you for writing, Senator Dick Durbin. And then here's a letter from me in 2004 saying, who is not doing their job? Who is not doing their job? We have over 400 children at the Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, and leukemia was most prevalent. I'm currently I have my epidemiological map locating more than hundreds of children's on the map and who isn't doing their job.
What kind of response were you hoping from Dick Durbin, your senator, on a federal level?
I was hoping that we could zero in as to why there were so many kids getting cancer. It's obvious that When I go to a support meeting and there's cancer in Justice, and there's cancer in Beverly, and there's cancer in Oak Lawn, and there's cancer in Oak Forest, and there's cancer in Palos Hills, and there's cancer in Hickory Hills, and there's cancer in Crestwood, and there's cancers from Orland, what is going on here?
These are all Cook County areas.
This is all of Cook County areas, right? What is going on here? This is an epidemic. When I grew up, when I was a teenager, there was one child diagnosed in our town with cancer. One child, okay? And that was in the early 80s, 70s and 80s. It appears to me that this epidemic of cancer, the onslaught, began like 1990. 1990 was a significant year, 40 years ago, when they all started getting sick. Everybody started getting sick with cancers. Cancer now isn't an epidemic here like if you have the flu.
All of this, dealing with all this paperwork, dealing with the years of going back and forth with the bureaucrats. What do you think the biggest injustice is with the political system here in Illinois? And do you think that it serves the people?
I think that the biggest political injustice is that they knew behind the scenes what was going on. They knew that it was a scheme going on for decades and decades, and they were pocketing and fueling their Democratic machine with this money. There is no doubt in my mind this is not an isolated incident. I know that other towns have reported to me, and it seems to be the same group that's poisoning everyone. And it's very disturbing because when you have a child with cancer and the child is 1 year old, okay, not any 1 year old should be getting cancer, not a 6-month-old should be getting cancer. So I could see if it was an adult and we have subjected ourselves to society and to cutting our lawns or getting close to chemicals or fueling our cars with gasoline, which is so dangerous, with petroleum, then I understand adults will get cancer. But when there's children getting cancer and our political officials are doing nothing and they know about this political scheme to fuel their machine, this is evil. This is evil. This is unconscionable. I have implored them and begged them for so long to look into this, and nobody did anything. My plea is that hopefully this unconscionable scheme will be stopped and these people will be held accountable, and justice is long overdue.
On Dick Durbin today and how he handled the situation in Crestwood. Do you think he even handled it?
Well, I think that actually I wrote him many letters and he wrote a few back, and every single letter he just basically appeased me and sat back like a lame duck and really didn't do anything for the citizens or didn't attend meetings and didn't come and meet and greet the people who were suffering. We had many town meetings and he never attended. He could have cared less.
Mm-hmm. And it was a statewide story because it was all over Chicago media. This was Cook County, right?
Right.
This is the one county he wins in, right?
Right. This is the county that he wins in, and there was a lot of affected people. I mean, 600 attended my town meeting, and he should have been like getting up there on the podium and saying that he's going to ensure to protect the water supply. He's going to initiate, strengthen, rules in regards to the water supply. He really just took a back seat, never showed up, never did anything, didn't actually come out and meet the greet. That's not what a politician is all about. A politician is someone who's going to care for their constituents and their community and come out and be helpful, not do nothing.
So do you think that the reason why he didn't come out and make a big deal about it, advocating for the people of Crestwood, is because he just thought that the Attorney General's office would take care of it, or he thought the local level would take care of it, or do you think it was he just didn't want to go against and expose his Democratic Party?
I think he didn't want to expose his Democratic Party because this has been a Democratic regime for a very, very long time. And once you're in the big boys club, you don't tell on each other.